There's a real advantage to never having fully committed to an instrument before. You have no bad habits to unlearn, no wrong information baked in, no old frustrations clouding a new experience. The question is, how do you make sure the foundation you build is the right one from day one? Let me ask you something. Have you thought about picking up an instrument for a while, but really wanted to make sure you did it the right way before jumping in? Wouldn't you agree that being more focused on being effective and not wasting time is going to benefit you better than shortcuts? Wouldn't it be reassuring to know exactly what a solid foundation looks like, feels like, and sounds like so that you can recognize if you're building one? And wouldn't you agree that the most important decision you make isn't which instrument, but how you choose to approach it and the expert feedback you can get from the very start? If we haven't met yet, I'm EP Archer, and I help committed adults over 30 who play an instrument or sing create beautiful tone and unshakable confidence without compromising who they are or the music they love. New students in their 40s and 50s returning to something they touched briefly and picking it up completely fresh are amazing. I see this consistently in my practice. The ones who do the best are not the ones with the most experience. I just had someone come in the other day who played for less than 6 months in the 3rd grade, and she is ripping through it and emboldened and confident and so excited to be doing it the right way. The ones who come in with clear intention, openness to feedback, and willingness to go slowly really crush it. And you would think that maybe somebody having played for 10 or 20 years would be an advantage, and sometimes it is. But also sometimes that very same thing that's been ingrained can hinder us. This blank slate advantage, though, for adult beginners on violin who have no ingrained bow grip tension, no old posture habits, no, I learned it this way and it's already ingrained in my brain as a habit or a repetitive motion, means you don't have anything to unlearn. So if you just dabbled a tiny bit, or you were only played a little bit as a kid, or you don't remember anything from your training previously, don't feel like that is a block. It's definitely not. It can be a bigger inspiration than having played for 20 years. I call this group of people the fresh commitments because you get to make a fresh commitment, but it's informed by something that really inspired you and something that you really wanted to do your whole life. So let's talk about 3 foundations that really matter if this is you, and this is something that will help you today. First of all, your posture and your physical setup. So it's not just how you stand and how the instrument greets your body. It is how the instrument is set up, what size of instrument, the instrument coming to your body rather than you moving to the instrument. If there's a shoulder strap, a shoulder rest, chin rest, all of these things make a huge difference. And a lot of people just grab the first one they see or the first thing that looks pretty and they put it on or they put it up to play. And we're so excited to play, we don't spend a lot of time on this step. But the movement and your posture, the flexibility and your physical setup is going to be a huge key, and it's going to help you set a correct foundation for everything you play to feel good, to be as ergonomic as possible. And that way, when you're playing idiomatic material on your instrument, it flows. It can explode right out of you instead of being blocked before you ever make a sound. Number 2, listening and audiating before executing. What this means is you need to be able to hear in your head, sing in your head, and sing out loud to develop the inner sound image before you demand a technical execution. Listening, let's say you're a violinist, to violin music, hearing a note that you're going to play before you play it and even singing it out loud is going to actually propel you so much farther, so much faster than focusing on note values and notes on the staff and note reading. Number 3, slow is fast. We all know the tortoise and the hare story. And if you go quickly when you are learning something in any way, in the way that you're holding it, and how fast your bow moves, and how fast you're strumming, in how many notes you're singing, If you go quickly, you are missing the strong neural pathway you need to have an established technique that works for you. And remember, when you get something slowly, purposefully, consistently, with that same feeling in your body, with that connection to your expression and what you're hearing and what you are desiring to sound like, that can be easily sped up. But when we're playing too quickly and there are 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, 100 versions of something, that's something your brain can't wrangle with. It is like a pile of mixed up spaghetti, and pulling out the strands one by one won't be fun. So take your time, go super slow. One of the most common frustrations if you're somebody with a fresh commitment to an instrument or to learning music is information overload. And nowadays, there is tons of information. You can learn anything you want to online absolutely for free. But what you can't have is a pathway that opens up your body, your mind, your music, your expression in a cohesive, structured way. YouTube rabbit holes, different methods, conflicting advice. The antidote is one trusted source, clear progression, a community of people doing the same thing with you and getting real-time feedback. Self-teaching from scattered sources is going to build scattered technique, and it's going to start feeling frustrating really quickly. My influence from Barbara Barber about fingerboard geography and knowing your instrument spatially before you try to play it fast is really, really helpful. So not only are we audiating a sound, like we are able to sing what we want it to sound like, we are able to sing, hear, and feel the finger patterns all the way up the neck of our instrument and all the way on the fingerboard. What this creates is a map before we drive. It's like your GPS system. This also applies not just to violin or guitar, but to every instrument and voice. And finally, neuroplasticity. The research by Pascual Leon shows us that adult brains learning a new motor skill show remarkable plasticity when the training is structured, specific, and consistent. Unfortunately, just doing one session a week as a private lesson where you explore whatever you're feeling in the moment or whatever your teacher has decided in the moment is not consistent enough, structured enough, or specific enough. Your adult brain is a huge advantage. It's so different and in so many ways superior, but the learning environment matters, the cohort matters, and the method that is being used needs to match it. Building it right from day one doesn't mean going slowly forever. It means investing in your foundation so that everything you build on top of it holds strong. The players that go the furthest are rarely the fastest starters. The fastest starters are going back and fixing later on. The slowest beginners are taking in all the information, all the pieces, and putting it together, and that's how you build something real. So don't get down on yourself if that is you. That can be a total advantage. So here's how you can apply this today in just 5 minutes or less. If you're just starting, before your next practice, hold your instrument in rest position and just get familiar with the weight, the feel, the texture of it. Notice the balance, notice its shape. Put it into playing position. Listen to it on recording. Listen to just the strings being plucked or bowed. Know this object before you play it. Start having a physical relationship. What does it feel like if I'm playing violin when I do pizzicato, or guitar when I'm doing fingerstyle? How is that different than a full rock strum or using the bow on an open string? You will notice if you're playing violin that your chin, your neck, your shoulder, your chest plate, your arm, your finger, your wrist, all of these things feel and interact differently depending on what you're playing. There are certain pieces where I still have a habit of gritting my teeth and I have to remind myself to relax my jaw and tilt my head and open up my neck. So pay attention to how you're holding, how you're standing, and how it feels. And then write down one source you trust for guidance, one teacher, one resource, one community. For this week, go deep with one source instead of going wide with 5. Don't watch 5 videos, just one. Gently apply the technique and talk to your peeps, talk to your friends, your community members, the people that are doing the same thing. Depth over breadth every time is going to build real skill faster, even though in the moment it might feel slower. So instead of that niggling thought in the back of your head saying, I wish I had started earlier, I hope it's not too late, let's replace that with, I'm starting now with neuroplasticity, with technical advantage because of my coordination, my determination, and what I desire. Everything I know is now an advantage. If you're building from scratch and you want real feedback from the start and you're a violinist, come and join us. Facebook.com/group/adult violin. Everyone else, check me out on Facebook or Instagram under EP Archer. Come say hi. I'm there every day. I can't wait to meet you and hear your story because your best music is on the other side. And I'll see you there.